The next day, they head to the water tower just as the train arrives. Meanwhile, we see Granger entering his stable where he finds Snaps. Granger learns that Prue, Abigail, and Lucky went to rescue the wild horses from the gang that kidnapped them. Worried about his daughter, Granger rushes to Jim's house and tells him the girls are in danger, explaining what happened. Jim becomes extremely worried for Lucky. He heads to a storage shed beside his house, where he had previously designed a high-speed train car, naming it Mila, after his late wife. He and Granger immediately set off in the train car, speeding toward the rescue. The next morning, Lucky hears the train's whistle while sleeping. She quickly wakes up and sees Spirit running toward the train, realizing it arrived earlier than expected. She wakes up Prue and Abigail, and all three run toward the train. Unfortunately, Hendrix spots Spirit and orders his gang to capture him with ropes and load him onto the train, which they do successfully. Lucky and her friends are unable to save the horses as the train departs quickly. Lucky feels devastated, especially because Spirit was also taken. But her friends encourage her, reminding her they still have a chance to reach the harbor before the train does. This lifts Lucky's spirits, and she and her friends hurry to the port. There, they find the train and the cargo ship. Lucky manages to climb onto the train and enters the car where Spirit is held. She frees him, but unfortunately, the other horses have already been loaded onto the ship. Lucky and Spirit then leap onto a high platform. At that moment, Jim and Granger arrive at the harbor in the fast train car. When Jim sees his daughter jumping over the ship on horseback, he becomes very worried, especially as the ship begins to sail. Realizing he can't bear to lose his daughter again, Jim and Granger get into a small boat and row quickly after the ship. Meanwhile, Lucky searches for the hold where the gang has kept the horses and manages to reach it and set them all free. At the same time, Hendrix and his gang try to capture Spirit with ropes. When Hendrix manages to tie him up, Lucky climbs onto Spirit and charges straight at Hendrix, knocking him into the sea. Just then, Lucky sees Jim and Granger arriving to save her. Spirit jumps into the water with Lucky, followed by the rest of the horses. When Jim dives in to rescue her, he is surprised to see her safe on the shore, along with all the others. The horses are overjoyed at their freedom. Lucky apologizes to her father, and he apologizes too, telling her that if her mother were alive, she would have done exactly the same. He tells her how proud he is of her, and they share a warm embrace. Later, they return to Granger's place and hand over Hendrix to the police. Finally, Lucky says goodbye to Spirit and the other horses, leading them to the forest where they can live freely in nature. She tears up as she watches them go. When she returns home, her Aunt Cora tells her the vacation is over and that she's packing for their return to the city. Lucky asks her if they can go to the horse festival first. Cora agrees. Lucky wears her mother's dress and makes a wish. Her father tells her that the festival was her mother's favorite. At the festival, Jim goes on stage and tells his daughter that he may have let her go once, but he promises never to do it again. He asks her to stay with him, and Lucky agrees. Everyone cheers at the news. Jim sings to his daughter, and Lucky dances with her friends, full of joy.